It's Thursday, February 23rd, 2023, and this is the Talk Film Society podcast. I am your host, Marcelo Pico, editor-in-chief of Talk Film Society, here with another episode of our award season series. And here with me, as always, for this series is Marcus Irving. Hello, Marcus.
Oh, Marcelo, I'm happy, so happy to be here. Because it's another week. It's another week, and that means it's another week to talk awards.
Yet another week in the many weeks that have been of this award season. Now, Marcus, be honest with me. Is this not dragging so much that you can't believe we have another 3 weeks to go until the Oscars' biggest night?
No, you know what? No, I think we had 1 or 2 weeks there, perhaps our last 2 weeks.
Yes.
But who's to say? Where maybe we were stretched a little thin on what to talk about. But I think we're going to be coming in for a nice close here.
Yeah, we're coming in hot
plenty.
For the final 3 episodes of this series, or 4. I forget.
3 or 4. Yeah.
Hold on. I know I sent it to you over DM the other night. I was like, okay, so maybe this one. But I forgot already. Off the top of my head, I think next episode.
I think this is 4.
This is 4? Okay, so next episode, we'll talk our picks for Best Picture. We'll talk about all the Best Pictures overall. Week after that, that's the Talk Film Society Awards presentation, where we hand out what our picks are for the best films and whatever's of the year. And then the next week after that, that's the Oscar wrap-up. So that's it.
The Oscars. The Oscars' biggest night to shine.
The Oscars' biggest night to shine is March 12th, Sunday. I believe that's right. Talk Film Society Awards. Let me get that out of the way.
Do that up quick.
Before we start, goofing off.
Sometimes we're late about this. Sometimes we get to this late. Do it fast.
Here we go. The Talk Film Society Awards, the 10th annual ceremony is going to happen in 2 weeks. The voting is still open. Go to talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards to look at those nominees for what we picked for Best Film, Best Actor, Actress, over 19 categories. Vote for the winners, and do that there. How much more can I say? It's our version of the Oscars, okay? And we've done it 10 times now, which is insane.
Crazy.
Again, one more time, the link is talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards. Look at the nominees and vote. That's it. Okay, a lot's happened in the last week for me, at least. Marcus, you've had an amazing week too. I've heard.
Absolutely, yeah. But I'm going to keep that close to the vest, though.
Exactly.
And I think, sorry, I'm in the background right now. I'm watching this women's soccer game on HBO, and looks like a player just got injured.
Okay.
And sorry, I got focused in on that. It's the U.S. versus Japan, the She Believes Cup.
Is this live? Is this going out live?
This is live, yes.
Oh, wow.
This is going out live. We're currently 0-0, 30 minutes into the game. I don't know how soccer works with timing.
Speaking of competitions, the Oscars.
Yes.
Marcus, how and hey, we haven't talked about this, so I want to get your perspective on it. The greatest of bowls, the Super Bowl, happened last weekend. Marcus,
oh my gosh! Yes.
I mean,
it happens on a Sunday every year.
Happens on a Sunday. Happens every year. We cheer for our favorite to win
every year.
Wait a second. Are you talking about the Oscars or the Super Bowl?
Oh.
Marcus, the Super Bowl. You have the next 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Super Bowl this year. Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
You can't say that.
I saw that the Chiefs won, and good on them. Patrick Mahomes. I've been watching WWE lately, and he took a photo with the cup that you win.
The Super Bowl Cup.
For winning the Super Bowl Cup. He took a photo with the famous Super Bowl cup and a WWE Championship belt. They've been showing that all over WWE TV because they're so happy about it.
It has a name, the Super Bowl trophy.
Yeah. Lombardi.
I think it's the Lombardi, but
Is that right?
I wanted to say not as a joke, but as a real thing, the Paul Walter Hauser Cup, and I was like, nope, that's not right.
Well, the Paul Walter Hauser that ties into the other wrestling show.
Oh, that's right.
AEW.
What happened over there?
They stole Paul Walter Hauser's Golden Globe that he won for Blackbird.
Yes,
and they still have the Golden Globe, and it has been being used in matches and such.
The same Golden Globe Paul Walter Hauser thanked God for. Christ Almighty. I think that's what he said on stage. Not that he's a bad person or anything, but I can't even remember the last shitty thing he did. Didn't he do something shitty and left Twitter?
It was just some weird Twitter argument he got into. I don't know. I wouldn't pick it apart too much. I don't remember.
I don't remember it either. It must not be that big. But hey, Paul Walter Hauser, come on the show.
Yeah, we want you on this show now.
Yeah, we want Paul Walter Hauser on every show that we do. On our wrestling show, like 3 years ago, on our Oscar show, on our Southland Tales show. I forget how we can get Paul Walter Hauser on Southland Tales. Maybe he's just a fan. Maybe he loves Richard Kelly. We don't know. We can get him on the show and ask him. So, Paul Walter Hauser, we know you're listening. Come on the show. Speaking of awards, my trip to New York. Okay, I did a few things. Okay.
You won an award.
I won an award.
To New York. Best trip to New York.
Best trip to New York award. Hey, I might have won it this week. In all seriousness, because I had such a fun time. Okay, last episode.
Everything I've seen, I'm so excited to talk to you about this. We have not talked about this personally yet. No. I made sure not to do it. I wanted to wait until we were on mic.
You made sure not to have a personal conversation off mic, Marcus.
Yes. Okay. We gotta save. We have to turn it into content.
We have to find some way to entertain others before we, entertain ourselves with each other.
It's more important to put out content than it is to build personal relationships with people.
100%.
That's something I've always said.
Marcus, shut up. So, New York City. The city that never sleeps.
The Big Apple.
I mentioned last week I was taking a trip to New York. I don't even know where to begin. I watched a lot of movies there, unsurprisingly, in a lot of great New York City indie movie theaters. The Metrograph, the Angelica, the Paris Theater, Roxy Cinema. All of these I went to. Let me say this. I saw a few movies of note there, namely ones that were and are currently nominated for Oscars, Marcus.
What?
Yeah, so let me just jump into these, okay? I saw two in New York City. First one I saw at the Angelica, the Oscar-nominated movie for Best International Film, Close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is about Glenn Close, right?
No. I mean, you wish. Actually, I kind of wish at the end it should have been Glenn Close. I'm gonna skip to the end. So, Close is a story about two 13-year-old boys who are very close. Thus the title of the movie. And then they go to school and they get bullied for being so close with each other, and then drama ensues from there. And it is a movie about toxic masculinity, about I don't want to get fully into it, but it does sort of ask questions of how emotional or how ever present a kid is at that age. Like, how much does he understand of himself and of people around him in regards to emotions? That's a question it asks. It's an interesting movie. I say it's worth watching, but in the end, it does something I just don't like seeing in movies anymore when it's handled not as well as it is here. That's as much as I'll say. I don't want to spoil it, but worth watching. Very interesting. The main 13-year-old boy, actually both of them, do excellent work. I think the lead one is Eden Dambreen.
What country is this from?
Okay, see, that's the thing. So I was confused because I came out of it thinking, oh, this must be the French selection for the Oscars. No, they're speaking French in it, but this movie is actually from Belgium. It's Belgium's selection for international film. But yeah, close. It's playing in theaters. That's where I saw it. If it's playing near you, give it a shot. But it's I have to look at that list of other international films because I've only seen, I think, EO. I've seen Close. And I saw one more, actually. So
what's this?
See, this is me ramping it up now? To the next movie I saw.
Hold on, what's this?
Yeah, now? I know. So I saw another international film nominee.
Whoa.
One that you saw like 3 weeks ago, Marcus.
Okay, that narrows it down.
Yeah, so I'm not going to tease you anymore. It's not Argentina 1985. You haven't seen that. It's not the other one. It's All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh, yes, the famous war picture.
The famous war picture. Adapted from the 1929 novel of the same title, All Quiet on the Western Front. And no, I'm not reading this. Yeah, and no, I'm not reading this off Wikipedia. I mean, I am because I can't remember all this information. Directed by Edward Berger, starring a lot of young Germans and Daniel Bruhl. So this movie I saw in the theater.
Weird, right? When he showed up.
Yeah, that was that was surprising to me when Daniel Bruhl shows up. He goes, oh my God, it's that guy. What am I watching? The MCU? No. So All Quiet. I had to see this in a theater, and it just so happened to work out that I got to see this at. I mean, Marcus, I was in New York. I had to do it up. I saw the opportunity to see this in a theater for one. I go, which theater? The Paris Theater, which is a famous New York City theater. Now,
interesting, because what I would think is you would see Close there, because that's where they speak French.
Right. Although they do speak about taking over Paris in All Quiet on the Western Front. So,
just a side note, we do have another injury on the field. Looks like we have a bloody nose, perhaps.
Continue. Which side has a bloody nose? Who got
America.
Hurt? America. Are you telling me an American went down as I'm talking about All Quiet on the Western Front?
Americans are famous for their weak noses.
And who are they fighting against in this match, Marcus?
Japan.
Who,
correct me if I'm wrong.
Don't do this.
Were they a part of World War I? I don't know.
We'll never know.
We need more World War I movies to teach us this stuff.
Yes, it says here the Allies in World War I were France, the UK, Russia, Italy, and Japan. And the United States as well. So Japan, they were our friends in World War I, Marcus.
And this is a friendly bout between these two countries.
The soccer match playing
nearly 90, over 100 years later, we can finally come together and say, hey, let's play some soccer.
Exactly. And if soccer has taught us anything, it's that. Marcus, have you seen the movie Bend It Like Beckham?
Yes.
Maybe. I'm assuming that means you might have seen it as a youth. You don't remember much of it?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say no.
Okay, yeah. I'm just curious.
Noah Baumbach, right?
Bend It Like
Kicking
Beckham?
And Screaming. That's Kicking and Screaming. I've seen the remake of Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell.
I don't think that's a remake. I think they're just two different movies that are named Kicking and Screaming.
Are they both about soccer?
I'm not laughing at you because I think you're an idiot. I have also had the same issue. But no, the Noah Baumbach movie, which I haven't seen, is called Kicking and Screaming. I don't think it has soccer in it. All it says here, it says...
Yeah, I've went my entire life assuming that's what that was.
Kicking and Screaming with Noah Baumbach. It says here, it tells of a group of college graduates who refuse to move on with their lives, each in their own peculiar way. An adult drama.
One plays soccer.
And the Will Ferrell movie, Stars Will Ferrell and Robert Duvall as a father and son who exploit their own son's soccer teams to try and beat the other.
Okay, the amount that we're fucking around here, you would think we don't have things to talk about. We absolutely do. Let's go back to Quiet on the Western Front, Marcelo. At Paris Cinema.
So I saw it at the Paris Theater. Iconic New York City theater, which, Marcus, I didn't know this until, or I may have forgot, because I know Netflix did this recently, but it ends up being the theater that Netflix bought. So Netflix owns a theater in New York City, and I went to their theater, the Paris Theater, to watch their Netflix movie, All Quiet on the Western Front.
What else could you have seen there? You could have seen Me Time with Mark Wahlberg. And
Hubie Halloween. They had midnight screenings of Hubie Halloween every night.
The Gray Man.
The Gray Man. The Gray Man playing at 6 a.m. Yes. Yes, actually, yeah, they play Netflix movies, but I mean, of course, they're showing like Pinocchio, another what other Oscar nominee of Netflix is out there right now? I forget, but they're playing the prestige Netflix movies, along with they were showing trailers for Moonstruck, they were showing trailers for After Hours. I think they had a Scorsese retrospective going on there, but yeah, it was weird.
We got a goal, America, USA up 1-0.
You know who also had the upper hand on America at one point? Germany.
The French.
So it was weird.
Yes, Germany at one point, yes.
Yeah. It was weird having the ushers in the Netflix theater wear Netflix logo on their clothes. That was weird, being in a theater and seeing that.
That does sound very weird.
But hey, nice theater. We sat in the balcony and watched the movie. And I know you were pretty cool on it, Marcus. You said, "Hey, I mean, it's a war movie." I'm paraphrasing you. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. At least I'm not going to try to. But you were like, "Yeah, it's a standard war movie. It doesn't really do anything in particular that's maybe new, fresh for a war movie. It tells the same story we've seen many times, right?" That's what you'd say about this version of All Quiet, right?
Yeah, that's about what I said. We did do an episode where we went more in depth on it when I was the only one that had seen it, and I came away basically with that. It was just like, yeah, totally fine, totally solid, but we've seen it before, we've seen it better, and but good, right? Did you think it was? Is that how you feel too?
I pretty much feel the same way, except that I do think it does do certain things very well.
Yeah.
The cinematography, especially, I was like impressed by. So I'll give it that. Cinematography, some of the performances, especially that.
Did the score stand out to you? I remember the score.
That main kid stood out, but the score. I initially was like, this feels a bit off to me. Maybe too of this current age to like represent something that happened, nearly 100 years ago, right? If that makes sense. It's like putting a Trent Reznor score on a World War I movie. I had that feeling, but I don't know. I did end up enjoying it at the end, the score, and I can see why it's now nominated for Best Score, right? I think it got a nomination for that. Best Original Score. So good job, Volker Bertelmann. Marcus, remind me your thoughts on the score?
That it stood out to me, and I thought it was good.
Yeah, same with me. So cinematography, score, and all the technicals. I mean, it's worth nominating. I can see that. Worth putting in Best Picture race? Maybe not for me. Yeah. It's near the bottom for me, or actually might be the bottom. Now that I've seen all the nominees, I guess now I can say for sure which one, in my opinion, is at the top and which one is at the bottom. But maybe I'll do that later.
Do we want to save this?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we'll save this conversation for the next episode. Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah.
But again, just to reiterate, I agree with Marcus. The movie doesn't do a lot to like change the genre, which I kind of feel at this point you kind of need to with these movies because we've seen so many of them, and they all basically say the same thing. But this one at least has some of those elements that I'm happy it got nominated for. Like cinematography, for sure.
Or if you're not going to do you have to have like a high amount of quality. Yeah, do something unique with it. Do a Dunkirk, do something like that, or be better.
Yeah. That original story of All Quiet on the Western Front, that now this is like the third adaptation of, those elements in that story, you feel like other movies have done it, and some have done it, or not most, but like a lot of movies have done this sort of anti-war message a lot better than this. And I hopefully you understand what I'm saying, listeners and Marcus, but like I'm saying, like this is like, it does feel like it's a story that's 100 years old, and there have been other, movies and stories that have been influenced by this that have done it better, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know, change the aspect of the story a bit, make it more interesting. But again, I'm not a screenwriter, so I don't know, figure it out. I'm not being paid to do this. You are, screenwriters. I'm so angry with you. God damn it. Anyway, this also got nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. That's All Quiet on the Western Front. We'll talk more about it next week on the Best Picture podcast episode. But yeah, so there you go. All Quiet, close. Crush those two off my list. That's all I want to say about movies I saw. One more thing I'll say. This is important. I came face to face with an Oscar winner, Marcus.
What?
Yeah.
An Oscar winner.
I believe it's the...
Okay. Well, let's think. Well, let's think about this. What Oscars is this? Is going to be like the 91st? I don't know.
Well,
95th.
This current Oscars, it's the 95th, I believe. I'll double 95th. Check. Yeah.
So yeah, the 95th Academy Awards. We've had hundreds upon hundreds of Academy Award winners. Who could you have seen? You could have ran into.
And keep in mind, this is New York City.
New York City, the Big Apple, yes. Dustin Hoffman.
No. You have 25 more guesses.
Okay. Shit, that's my only guess.
That's it? Okay. You just want to tap out? You give up? Okay. I saw...
Joe Pesci.
No, okay. You're close with a J. First name starts with J.
J. John Huston.
I saw a little play called A Doll's House.
A Doll's House. This is based on that Joss Whedon show, Dollhouse.
Yes. This 1879 Danish play is actually based on the Joss Whedon canceled TV show Dollhouse. No, so okay. I'm gonna. I don't know if I should just say it or just lean in. Kind of not lean into it, or should just tease it. But there's no way around it now. Okay, it just so happened that I was going to be in town for this play's opening. Not necessarily opening night on Broadway, but this is the soft open. I forget the Broadway term for it, but they're working out the kinks in this opening run. But I just so happened to be in town for the opening day of this play, for this performance of it, and the big reason why I was going to see the show was because of the star. It was Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain. Marcelo, if anybody knows anything about Marcelo,
yeah,
we all know that they know probably the number one fact about Marcelo that anybody that knows him knows is that he is a fan of Jessica Chastain. He took it on as his brand many years ago, and he has since tried to quietly distance himself from the brand, okay, but he cannot deny that he is a Jessica Chastain super fan.
Yeah.
Stan, if you will.
Marcus, I should cut this out and share it with people to try to explain why I have this connection with Jessica Chastain. Not only do I really think, I mean, I'll get to it, but I really do think she's my favorite performer, actor, working now, Jessica Chastain.
Your favorite working actress.
Okay. Whatever. If you want to genderize it, fine. Okay. Actor, actress, performer, performeress. Okay, she's my number one. Not only do I think she's great,
performeress.
My favorite performeress. Not only do I think she's amazing, working actor. I think she's amazing in other aspects. Like, it feels like she's just a great person. Hopefully off screen. At least that's the image she shares. Okay, whatever. For years and years, I had Jessica Chastain as my profile picture on Twitter, and shared Jessica Chastain pictures. And yes, Marcus is right. I thought maybe it'd be too weird to have this for too long, and maybe just to try not to attach myself to this person who doesn't know who I am. But still my favorite. And yes, the opportunity came. See this show. I'm like, okay, I'll see the show. And so, what happened after the show? Well, first, the show was amazing. It feels like a Jessica Chastain passion project. This show, A Doll's House.
Is it a one-woman show?
No, it's a very stripped down show with a total of like maybe 6 actors in it, actors and actresses.
Anybody else that you'd recognize or anything?
Actually, I wrote it down. Arian Moayed is the co-star of this. He is. The name you might not know, but the face you probably know because either you watch the MCU or you watch Succession. He's on both things.
I know this man. Yeah. I know this man.
Yeah.
This guy's good.
He's very good. And he's very good in this play. But yeah, of course, Chastain is the star. She stars as this housewife who's married to this shitty person who Moayed plays. And yeah, it's a play from 1879, but apparently, from what I've been told, it was ahead of its time. It shook people up because it had a woman who basically was no nonsense in the end and kind of like had her own agency. And of course, that's a prime part for Jessica Chastain, and she was amazing in it. I'm not going to spoil the aspects of it because, first off,
it's only 150 years old.
But the thing is, it's a new adaptation, and they do some cool things on stage. And they
have like laser rifles and stuff.
Okay, how about this? No, I don't even want to do that. You know what? For the sake of Broadway people out there who might eventually see this, I'll save it for now. But it's a very cool thing that it does. Apparently, that again, what I've been told is something that doesn't happen ever on Broadway. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil what it is. I'll tell Marcus off mic. Great show. She's amazing. She's going to get that Tony. Or as somebody I overheard say while we were walking out to play, somebody said, "Oh, she's going to get that Emmy." 5 beats later, she goes, "Oh, I mean Tony." Okay.
You loved the show. You loved seeing her. And you saw her, you had like a nice balcony seat from what I could tell.
Yeah, I share pictures with it in the Discord, which you can join, by the way. Marcus, if I wanted to see these pictures of Jessica Chastain on stage at a doll's house, how could I do that? And if I were a cool person?
If you are a cool person and you'd like to have the behind the scenes, if you were in our Discord and are a cool person, you could already know how this story ends. The story that we're so elegantly telling. To do that, you can go to talkfilmsociety.com/Discord and join the Discord. Have fun in there. We talk about movies and whatever else said stuff.
There you go. So after the show, or before the show, the person who I'm with in this whole thing, my partner, she was the one who pointed out that we'd be in town because I went to New York City with her. She said, "Hey, look, that Jessica Chastain play, it's starting the Monday we're there." So I'm like, yes, let's do it. And then she also said that we could stage door it, which I'm like, I don't know what that means. And so she goes, yeah, stage dooring means you can hang out where the performer's stage door is in this building after a play, and they'll come out and say hello or sign an autograph or take a picture. And I'm like, okay, I wouldn't be able to sleep if I didn't at least like try to do this.
Yeah.
Because I know if I would have told the story and I decided not to stage door it, if I would have told you that, Marcus, like what would you have said?
I would have been pretty upset for you, Marcelo.
Yeah.
It would have felt like a wasted opportunity.
Yeah.
To me.
So my lovely partner decides to wait with me by Jessica Chastain's and the performer's stage door. After the play.
And your partner, she knows how much you're into Jessica Chastain.
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, yeah. But
this is a sweet thing for her to do.
That's what I'm trying to say. Very sweet, because I had no idea about this. I mean, I knew that it happened, but I didn't know how exactly it happened. But it's very, and I don't also want to encourage people to do this a lot. This is weird. But I'll say it has a happy ending because, yes, I was also worried for my partner. Not worried. I was also like concerned, or just like, should we really be standing out here for 2 hours in the cold waiting for this person to come out? Because that's what my partner said. Sometimes it takes a while for the actor to come out and say hello, if they ever do. So I'm like, maybe it's too cold. Maybe we don't wait that long. But we ended up waiting about an hour. A little over an hour, and
oh, wow.
And guess who came out to say hello? It was Jessica Chastain. Okay.
Wow.
And at this point, the security guard around there was handing out masks for anybody who's going to get close, because of course Chastain didn't want to get COVID, because of course she's a Broadway performer, so she can't get sick. So that's I put on my mask, and I was there holding 2 playbills, me and my partners, for her to sign, and I was expecting that to be it. I was like, okay, she's going to sign these 2 things. That's it. No big deal. But I see that she was also taking pictures, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can swing taking a picture with Jessica Chastain. So I had my partner hold the phone, and I got the signatures. I got up to Jessica Chastain. I was like, please sign these 2. One is for me, one is for my girlfriend. I very much stepped over my words as I was saying that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, can I take a picture with you? And she's like, yes. So she pulls down her mask. Chastain does. I have my mask on still. My partner takes the picture. And as she's taking the picture, I at this point, I didn't know what to say. So maybe I'm like, maybe I'll just keep quiet and not say anything. But then I had to say something. So I just said, as the picture is being taken, I go, "You're my favorite performer." And that's what I said. That's the exact words I said, and I have it on video. I said that, and she goes, "Oh," and she is sweet. She looked me right in the eye. She goes, "Thank you." She goes, "I was worried about my voice tonight at the performance." She goes, and we had like the littlest conversation. We had a little back and forth. She's like, "Oh, my voice." I go, "No, you were great." It's like, "Don't worry about it." Jessica Chastain. I said that to her. and then that was it. A brief back and forth, making direct eye contact with my favorite actor performing today, and just saying, "Yeah, you're great." And then that's it. And then I left, and I had the signature, and ended up having a great night.
That's so great. That's so great, Marcelo. Yeah. I'm so happy that this got to happen. Couldn't happen to a more deserving fan of Jessica Chastain.
But yeah, that's it. And now the bit can end. Okay, I closed the book on the bit. I mean, she's still my favorite actor working today, but no more. The Twitter bit is over. So. Everybody can shut up about it now.
Honest question: have you felt saddled by this Jessica Chastain brand?
What do you mean saddled? Do you mean
do you feel like what I said earlier is I feel like you have tried to distance yourself from it. Do you feel like you have to play into it? Do you feel like or do you still do you enjoy doing that?
Initially it was all fun. And it's not that it's it's still
but then
fun.
You became the Jessica Chastain guy.
I know, but that's the thing. It becomes less and less fun. It's not that it's not fun to have this sort of persona, but then when you think about it, I'm like, well, she's an actual person. Do I want to have an actual person be my persona? I don't.
Fair.
Yeah, and that's one reason why I'm like, I can.
I think I'm rubbing on that.
I can back off a bit
right now.
I can back off a bit, right? But I'm more than just Jessica Chastain. And she's the craziest thing is
she is more than you.
But that may be a crazy thing to say, but get this, buddy. Somebody did tell me in person that it's like whenever they see Jessica Chastain like in a photo or movie, whatever, they think of me, which is a bizarre thing. Somebody said this to me in person years ago. Honestly,
that's me. I do the same.
But I guess it's just I'm on this side of it. I didn't realize it's not that I have a huge follower base, but like, yes, like people have DM'd me, people have added me on Twitter. They've every time Jessica Chastain does something, I appreciate people sending me the news or informing me. I don't know, but that's it. And then sometimes it's weird. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Well, look, I am happy that this happened for you, Marcelo. I'm glad you got to see a nice play on Broadway. This is on Broadway, right? Or was it off?
Yeah, it's on Broadway. Again, this is the pre-show, hey, let's see how things go. And there was a technical snafu. Like, in the first 10 minutes, they had a shutdown.
Spider-Man's rig broke.
Yes. And it was weird having a doll's house, but with just Spider-Man in it too, like in full costume. But yeah, there's a technical snafu. But hey, I think it opens officially in a few weeks, and it'll be on Broadway.
So this is like a preview show. Well, yeah. I'm glad, Marcel, that you got to see a nice Broadway play starring your favorite actress, and not only just saw that, you got to have a nice meeting with your favorite actress. It felt, like you said, it felt like your life had come full circle,
and now I can die.
Your online persona had been fulfilled, and I know this was massively satisfying for so many people, not even just yourself.
Yeah,
and I'm glad you did it.
The hero finally won. I can put the bit to rest. And yeah, that's it. That's the last.
Long live Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, she's got her Oscar. She's got her photo with me. That's it. We both reached the pinnacle. There's nowhere for us to go next. There is one place for us to go next, though.
Yeah, where do we go from here?
Oh, I also saw Blonde. Do we have time for that? I saw Blonde today.
I think that's been teased for next episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So
we'll talk about Blonde later.
So the tease is, hey, I saw Blonde, and I'll talk about that next episode because I'm sure there'll be a chance to do so.
Let me just poke one out here. I got
poke one out.
I saw Black Panther. I saw Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Did not like it anywhere near as much as I liked the first Black Panther. It felt kind of saccharine and weird. Didn't like it very much, but too obsessed with death, and I get it, but like it felt almost a little bit, I don't want to say exploitative, but it felt weird watching it. But anyway, so Angela Bassett, she's the front runner right now for Best Supporting Actress.
Yes.
And I'll just say, sure. I didn't really have any opinion about her performance. Do you feel the same? Or am I weird for saying that?
I wish I had this up, but whenever I think of Jessica Chastain, whenever I think of Jessica Chastain, that's every minute of my life. No, let me start again.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of Angela Bassett, I think of a tweet that says, congratulations to Angela Bassett for winning the award for Best Performance in a Trailer.
Right.
Yeah. Because I think that's what it is. Her best performance is in the trailer. And in the movie, it feels like, yeah, she's good. I mean, she's always good. And in that role, she's good. But if we look at the other best supporting actresses in the category, my God, I
don't think she measures.
No.
She beats Jamie Lee Curtis.
Barely. And that just makes her 4 on that list, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah, that's how I feel. But hey, this will be a career Oscar for her. You know, good for her. She has an amazing career anyway. But again, it's another scenario among many, undoubtedly, of an actress getting an award for a movie that's not the best, and it's just making up for others.
It's kind of a career award.
Yeah.
Do you feel?
Yeah. I think.
And
so.
Will this be the second comic book character to win an award?
Overall, I think so. Second character, because Joker.
Because Joker's won twice.
So his character's got 2 awards, and I guess her character is her character
and Black Panther's mom now has an award too.
Is Black Panther's mom a canonical character in the comic books? I don't know. Surely, right? Yeah.
Not Shuri. Surely.
Not her.
Don't call me Shirley. But yeah, okay. So yeah, I saw that. We can move on.
Wait. Let me zip through this, and this is just like jumping from topic to topic.
I'll say this. Hold on, sorry. One time to double back. I saw Thor: Love and Thunder before I watched Black Panther. What a dreadful fucking experience that was. I would not call Black Panther dreadful. I hated Thor. Continue on.
And let me say this. I'm not a fan of Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm not a big fan of Wakanda Forever. But at least that new Quantumania is okay. I saw that. I like that. Yeah. I like that better than Wakanda Forever and Love and Thunder. But that's just me.
Combined?
No, not combined. That, because like 50% of Wakanda Forever is like actually good, and then like 25% of Love and Thunder is good. So that's 75%. And I'd give like Quantumania like 69%. Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Let's move on. That's enough of that. Oh, okay. The documentaries for shorts. I saw those. I'll just zip through these. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yes, and I had to catch this screening because it was the last one this week for the short documentaries, which came out to 2 hours and 46 minutes, the whole thing, to see this in theaters. And I did it, and I'm glad I did, because otherwise I don't think I'd be able to do this at home. I'll just quickly give my ranking. The number one, my favorite of the bunch, I think would have to be How Do You Measure a Year? And I think it barely gets to the number one slot. Because while I think they're all good, they didn't really blow me away. The only one to like almost blow me away is How Do You Measure a Year? And that one is a 30-minute documentary about a father recording his daughter growing up. On her birthday, he takes a video camera and asks her a few questions on camera. And we see this happen from the age of 2 to 18. I think it's a very interesting documentary. And I think it's the only one on the list of the 5 that's not available online right now. So hopefully it'll get online. And I think if it wins the Oscar, I'd be happy. Then the other ones you can see on Netflix and on the New Yorker website. Weird enough. I know. It's
okay.
The Elephant Whisperers, that's on Netflix. That's nominated because it just looks so gorgeous. And it's about baby elephants being raised to survive in India. And of course it gets nominated because it looks gorgeous and it's about baby elephants. Stranger at the Gate is pretty good. It's about a dangerous person who ends up becoming not so dangerous because he talks to people outside his social circle.
Okay.
A weird message, but pretty good documentary. Martha Mitchell Effect is actually very interesting. Tells the story of Martha Mitchell and her connection to Nixon. Interesting. That's on Netflix. A Stranger at the Gate is on New Yorker, and also Haul Out is on New Yorker. That's my number 5. That's the least best of the 5 because it's just about this researcher, I think in the North Pole, and he studies seals that wash up on the shore, and it just shows you him surrounded by 95,000 seals on the shore. That's the documentary. But yeah, that's it. Overall, strong lineup, but I don't know. It feels like this is a mix of documentaries that are just very standard of like, oh, this is the genre that we've seen so much of individually. But at least How Do You Measure a Year seems more interesting than the other ones. So that's how I feel. There you go. Best documentary shorts nominees. All right, Marcus. We're recording on a Sunday.
This is it.
This is it. We're recording on a Sunday. We're 3 weeks away from the Oscars, and right now the BAFTAs are happening, or they might already be over. The British Academy of Film and Television Arts, or some shit like that. Do you want to know some of the winners, Marcus, of the BAFTAs?
Oh yeah, the BAFTAs. No,
you don't. Okay, let's move on. The DGA award. No, okay, hold on.
Yeah, let's give us some BAFTAs. Are they still happening currently, or have they wrapped up?
I think they just finished.
Okay.
It's weird because
give us the big ones: the director, the actor, whatever.
Let me just zip through some of these. Supporting actress Carrie Condon won. Adapted screenplay All Quiet on the Western Front won. Supporting actor Barry Keoghan won.
Oh wow.
Best film not in the English language, All Quiet. Best editing, Everything Everywhere. Cinematography, All Quiet. Outstanding debut by British writer, producer, director Charlotte Wells for Aftersun. Original screenplay, Banshees. Animated film, Pinocchio. Visual effects, Avatar. Documentary, Naval Knee. Original score, All Quiet. Sound, All Quiet. Costumes, Elvis. British film, Banshees of Inisherin. Director, Edward Berger for All Quiet. Actor, Austin Butler for Elvis. Actress, Cate Blanchett for Tar. And best film, All Quiet on the Western Front. So there you go. Those are the BAFTAs. Any thoughts on that, Marcus?
What was best film? It was All Quiet?
It was All Quiet. Best film, All Quiet.
Sure. Okay.
and it won it over Banshees, Elvis, Everything Everywhere, and Tar.
Okay. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Does that worry you? Does it put a pit in your stomach to think that All Quiet might sneak in and just take Best Picture at the Oscars?
It doesn't worry me. It bums me out a little that they didn't give it to Banshees, I guess, when they gave Banshees so much other stuff. But I just love Banshees. I wish it would. I hope it gets as much as it can get.
I'm sure
that's probably my number one dog in the fight right now for whatever reason.
If anything, screenplay might be unfortunately might be its only win at the Oscars at this rate, which
is possible.
Which sucks because there are plenty of movies like that have come out that I thought it should just sweep. It gets nominated but doesn't win anything. I think The Irishman was the last movie that did that for me, where it won nothing, but it got nominated for so much. Anyway, the DGAs, which leads us into our discussion for the week. The Directors Guild Awards happened last night, as of this recording on February 18th. Let's just dive into it because this opens up our discussion for our favorite directors of 2022. So here are the nominees for the DGAs this year. Steven Spielberg, The Fabelmans. Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin. The Daniels for Everything Everywhere. Joseph Kosinski for Top Gun Maverick. And Todd Field for Tar. All right. So the winner is... Do you know who won, Marcus? I'm assuming you do. Yeah, okay. So
I did see the winners. Winners.
The winners. Oh, spoiler. The winners are the Daniels. Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I don't get it, but congrats, boys.
One movie I did see over my New York City weekend, I saw Everything Everywhere again in a theater at the Lower Manhattan Draft House. Great experience. Not only the theater was great to be in, they had great drinks, but the movie itself, well, I think we'll talk about it next week. I think we have to, Marcus.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to get into it next week.
I think Everything Everywhere is a 5 out of 5. And Marcus has made it clear in past recordings and conversations I've cut out of the podcast because I wanted to save it. Marcus, not a big fan of Everything Everywhere. So we'll get into it next week. And the Daniels will show up, I'm sure, later in the episode too, because, hey, this brings us into the topic. Our favorite directors of 2022. This is it. When we started this, we did this for the actors and actresses, and I think that's it, right? Just the acting awards and screenplay?
We did all 4 acting categories, and then screenplay and score.
Score, that's right. And we never bothered to finish that off, and now we're trying to finish it off.
Other stuff came up.
Yeah, other stuff came. And I mean, the nominations happened, and then we were just like, "Oh, what are we going to do now?" And then my power went out for 3 days, and then I went to New York City. But we're back. We're focused now. Best directors of 2022. How do we do this? One of us goes first. I forget who went first last time.
One of us just goes first with our list. Unless you want to
flip for it?
We'll do that next week. Yeah, just one of us just goes first. I think you should go first. Okay. I don't know who went first last time.
I'll go first. So I wrote down 5 and 1 honorable mention for my favorite directors of 2022. Okay. Honorable mention, Charlotte Wells for After Sun. It's a shame that it's only got 1 nomination at the Oscars this year, After Sun. Although that'll still get people watching the movie. I watched it in January, After Sun, and I'm still just so thinking about like its visual style. It's very simple at times, but it's also just so smart in like where it puts its camera, because it's all about the camera at moments. Because I mean, it's a powerful story about a girl, coming of age with her father, who is just going through something. We don't know while we watch the movie what's happening, possibly until the end of the movie. And that's why Mescal's so great in it, because like there's so many layers going on with this. There's so many layers to his character that helps it also being a great movie, After Sun. So great director, Wells, great movie, After Sun. That's my honorable mention. You gonna say something funny, Marcus, in the middle of my my talk up of After Sun?
I was gonna say you're still in the afterglow of the After Sun.
Oh God, I almost spit out my teeth.
Is that funny?
Yeah, it's funny. I almost laughed.
All right.
Yeah. Number 5.
Best I can hope for.
Michael Bay, Ambulance. Yeah, baby.
All right, baby. All right.
Get out of here.
That's right.
Get out of here, Charlotte Wells. Michael Bay's number 5. I did a podcast on Michael Bay. I'm a big defender of the guy, and I think he's a stand-up guy. And not only that, he's a great director. I think he's improving as a director, actually. Like with the Netflix movie Six Underground, and now this, he's always so interested in tech and how to show action in like this new generation of filmmaking. And man,
he's certainly not somebody that like rests on his laurels. Like he has trademarks, of course, but like he's always trying new shit.
Exactly, and that's how it feels like. And that's what he's going for in something like Ambulance, which feels like it could have been like a stripped down movie, but he goes, no, I'm gonna bring in fucking drones. I'm gonna just like continue to explode things like in real residential areas. I'm going to be who I am, but just more intense. And that's Michael Bay's direction. He's not, again, like you said, he's not resting on his laurels. He wants to up himself each time. And I see that in Ambulance. That's number 5. Number 4, the good old boy. The best director in my heart. Actually, number 4. Damien Chazelle for Babylon. Wow. We've talked Babylon. People at this point should know I love the movie. Marcus just so happens to love the movie too, more than me. And I don't know. I've heard criticism saying like Babylon's too much like a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, or
that's a bad thing. Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, it's like who doesn't want to be, making a Paul Thomas Anderson movie? Let Damien Chazelle do whatever he wants, right? He can have his influences, and sure, it's another like on the face of it, a Hollywood. An ode to Hollywood and the golden age of film, right?
It's amazing that it does not come like this. There has been increasing, for me and for a lot of people, there has been an increasing backlash against that type of movie. Like for me, it kind of started with Shape of Water, where I was like just kind of unfazed by like, I love cinema. and that message has become less and less interesting to me over time. Damien Chazelle delivers it in such a heartfelt and like really maximalist way that's just like, I believe you, and like it almost feels novel that like the way that he approaches it almost makes it feel novel and like way more interesting than on its face.
Yeah. And like we talked about, I think last episode, the ending is phenomenal, and I think it shows that it has more layers to it. I've enjoyed reading the other takes on it. It's opened my mind on the movie, and why can't more movies be sort of ambiguous or grandiose or as outlandish as like Babylon? Come on, be more like Babylon is my point. Speaking of loving movies, though, number 3, Spielberg for The Fabelmans. He's Spielberg. I've talked a lot about Fabelmans and how great of a director Spielberg is, but yeah, it's another one of those things where it's like on the face of it, love of movies, but then there's a deep, dark underscore of, hey, I can pick up the camera, I can shoot things, but there's in that power there is dread. He captures too much.
Both Steven Spielberg, I kind of take offense to Steven Spielberg's being referred to as love of movies. I think you said the darker underside to it, where it feels like it's an escape for him. He's trying to get away from his life, and so he focuses intently on this, and he doesn't treat that like very glowingly. He's not like, oh, cinema saved my life. He's like, this is just what I had to do, and like I could have done something else. This is what I focused on. It almost feels very cynical about movies to me. Again, it's another very interesting perspective where like I mean Babylon shows the terrible sides of how films were made in the 1920s. So like they both have kind of like a darker undercurrent to them. I don't know how I end this, but
no, you end it by making a point, which you just did, and I agree with that point. These two movies are just so, again, on the face of it, you could think they're one thing, a loving ode to cinema, which part of it is, but another part of it is like, holy shit, I just accidentally shot my mom having an affair in the background of my camp video, and that's not the cinema you want to experience. But hey, Spielberg faces it head on in The Fabelmans, now playing. Number 2,
cinema kind of ruined my life, but I leaned into it. That's kind of how I feel.
Like, what else am I gonna do?
I leaned into it and made it a career.
Yeah, you got me, cinema. I'll do it for the next 70 years. Hey, another artist who, is you could call him cynical. You could call him, kind of like hey, what's going on here? An artist struggling maybe at times, but always comes out with a hit that is all about the genre he created. That's right. I'm talking about David Cronenberg with Crimes of the Future.
The
Cronenberg. Yes, I think he made a great comeback with body horror in Crimes of the Future, and only he could make that movie. Like nobody else can make Crimes of the Future except him. The filmmaker of The Best Crash, he could only make Crimes of the Future. History of Violence, The Fly, Dead Ringers, like, that is the Cronenberg I love, and that is in Crimes of the Future. Hard to really pinpoint exactly what his thing is, but I know it's when I see it, and that's what it is. Crimes of the Future for me. But yeah, that's my number 2. I know you're not as hyped up on it as I am, Marcus, but you do. I mean, come on, you got to give it to Cronenberg.
No, I do dig the movie a lot. It's very damn cool, and I have no umbrage to you saying he's one of the best directors of the year for following this. I mean, you'll see with my list. I am rewarding ambition, and that's like ambition and weirdness, and like that's an ambitious and weird movie.
Yeah. 100%, and it's
because I only think of that good, like as a good thing.
Yeah. And finally, I guess we'll save this bigger discussion for later, but I got to put the Daniels at number 1 for Everything Everywhere. And again, I saw this recently in a theater, and I said this because me and my partner went to go see it. I said this to her. I think maybe even before. I definitely said it after. But I was like, okay, this is gonna be my 5th time seeing Everything Everywhere in total. I think 4th time in theaters. I'm going to hunt for what I think is wrong with this movie. I'm going to look for faults. Right now it's a 5 out of 5, but I can, if I find something I don't like, if I see the problem here, I'll bump it down. I have no problem with that. I came out of it thinking 5 out of 5. I couldn't find a single thing wrong with the movie, in my opinion. I know others don't feel the same way, but in my heart of hearts, it's a perfect movie. And I think the Daniels directed it with so much. I hate
joie de vivre.
Yeah, joie de vivre. I hate to use this word you used earlier, but with ambition, and they shot it smartly. Oh, God. Should I say this now? Yeah, I'll tease it, and we'll talk about it more in the future. We have to, okay? Today I saw a movie that had, various experimental aspects to it that used a lot of aspect ratios, that used a lot of lenses and black and white. And I felt that movie I saw today didn't compare to what I saw in Everything Everywhere, where it had more of a bigger vision, more of a... I understood it more in terms of like what it was trying to say with its visual stylings and experimental takes. I saw it more in the Daniels Everything Everywhere than the movie I saw today.
Well, who could guess what that movie is?
We'll find out next week. So that's my number 1, Marcus. You have the floor now. You can come at me for anything at the moment, or you can just jump into your top 5.
I'm not going to come at you, bro. I like your list. I respect your list. Marcel, I'm going to say... only my number 1 has been chosen.
What?
And I have a list. Shut up. I have a list here of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have a list here of 12 people. I'm
12
gonna cut
people.
one right now. I have 11 people right now.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cut that guy too. So Jesus.
So now you have a top 10. Is what I'm hearing.
I'm not going to give you a top 10. I'm not even going to do an honorable mention. I'm just going to do my 5, okay? And I'm going to be making it up on the fly here.
Okay, all right. This is exciting. I wrote mine down. I've had mine ready for an hour. But Marcus, you can make things up on the fly.
I made this list last night, and I just
I'm kidding.
It's been tough. It's been tough to rule anybody out. But like I said earlier, I am prioritizing ambition. I am prioritizing things that I feel like I have not seen before. I am prioritizing unique voices. Auteurism, if you will.
I'll allow it.
My number 5, Zach Kreger for Barbarian.
Oh,
now,
nice.
This man came out of nowhere. He was a goofy comedy guy that I've loved since I was a kid, from The Whitest Kids You Know. And he comes out of nowhere with this really bonkers, super fun, weird, gross horror movie that I just dig so much. Somehow he got a nice budget for it, and he used that budget to its fullest and made one of the more unique horror films I've seen in years. And I appreciate that. It's a very strong debut. And and I'm only putting him at 5, but God bless him. I hope to see more. He's been his next film has already been announced, right? And it sounded interesting to me. He was like, it's going to be Magnolia, but like a horror Magnolia. Like that sounds cool as shit.
Yeah. I'm trying to look up what it is, but I heard the same thing. High budget, big cast, I think, apparently. And I hope he doesn't succumb to the fictional sophomore slump.
Yeah, I think I'm betting on him being a very interesting film voice in the future, a la my number 4, Jordan Peele.
A la
my Jordan Peele. For Nope, I don't love Nope, but I see the craft in Nope, and I respect Nope, and I think Nope does so many amazing things. Whenever you see behind the scenes photos of Nope, it looks like it's a miracle, and how he translated that to the screen. Like it really, Jordan Peele is one of our best filmmakers today. That's without hyperbole or anything. He just is. Jordan Peele, number 4.
Number 4. Good pick. This
becomes very hard.
I love Nope, and I agree with you. He's, I don't know. It's, for me, it came close. I almost put Peele above Bay, maybe at one point, but I don't know. I had to give it to Bay. So yeah, Nope was in the running for sure, and Jordan Peele was. Marcus?
Peele is your Bay. Number 3. S.S. Rajamouli for RRR.
Wow. Brave of you to pick that.
Brave. Very brave.
Especially after, he came out in support of some right-wing figures. I mean...
Is that right?
Yeah. Well...
Well, no, he just says like he finds like his inspiration are like American action movies, and he said
that's
Mel Gibson.
That's what I'm referring to. But somebody's tweets made it out to seem like he was a bad person for just liking Mel Gibson. That doesn't make him a bad filmmaker.
And I've seen from like people that know about Indian politics, like that perhaps this is not the most wokest of films. But look, that doesn't affect me. I don't care. Like, this is
Marcus doesn't care.
I don't give a shit. This is an extremely amazing action movie. Friendship, dance.
That's all you
need. Fuck yeah, man! It's everything. This is
friendship
like
and dance.
I was fully. What is the runtime of this movie? It's like almost 3 hours, maybe a little over.
It's like 2:45, I'd say.
I was 100% engaged the entire time. I loved all the characters. I loved the story. I loved the action scenes, the dance scenes, the musical numbers. All of it is shot with such joie de vivre.
By the way, it's 182 minutes. So 3 hours and 2 minutes.
182 minutes. Yeah, so, look, it's a fantastic movie. Netflix,
it's
hit it up. My number 2.
Although, this is putting you on the spot, but...
Yeah, what do you got?
RRR on Netflix. Not the language you hear in the theatrical version.
RRR on Netflix. They have the Hindi version, and it's actually a Telugu movie.
Yeah, which right? I do not know where to get the Telugu version. I'd want to hear that and see that versus...
Yeah.
The Netflix
that
version.
Is true.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I say this, and I saw that version in theaters twice, so I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too. My number 2 is, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Jane Schoenbrunn. She's the director of We're All Going to the World's Fair.
We're All Going to the World's Fair.
Speaking
Marcus,
of a horror debut like Zach Cregger,
Marcus, Can you agree that 2022 was a landmark year for horror?
And You know what? Yes, in many ways, it probably was. We saw the end of Halloween. Finally, the final Halloween movie that'll ever get made. We saw.
I mean, Halloween ends, but horror lives on.
We saw when we saw, as Michael Myers fell down, we saw the rise of such great horror filmmakers as Jane Schoenbrunn and Zach Kreger and Jordan Peele and the guy and that one guy, Mad God. I haven't seen Mad God, but that seems like a cool thing.
And those dudes who do the Scream movies, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
And Smile. The one guy did Smile. He's good too.
Smile.
Smile's pretty good.
If you see the Smile, it's gonna get you.
Yeah, Terrifier 2. Yeah, so many great horror movies.
Terrifier 2, yeah, legitimately. That's I mean, an NC-17 horror movie making it into like a genuine hit. That's fucking amazing.
But another amazing movie is one you're trying to talk about right now, but I keep
we're all going to the World's Fair. I will talk about this more in depth next week, but specifically speaking to Jane Schoenbrunn's talents, it's a beautiful movie that feels like it came from a really earnest and unrepresented space in fucking anywhere. And it comes with a unique approach to topics that I think will be explored more in the future as we have directors of a certain age growing up and being able to create these stories. But yeah, I'm going to get into my love of We're All Going to the World's Fair way more in depth later, and I've already done it before where I put like Anna Cobb as my favorite actors of the year.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's the thing. We've said a lot of this before about our favorites. Yeah. I was trying to find new things to talk about Crimes of the Future. It feels like I talked about that so much this season. But this is how we feel, folks. And this is the award season. It's the same thing over and over and over for a few weeks, and then it ends. That's how this series is too. Okay?
That's right.
So fuck you, okay? If you want to hear my thoughts on Magic Mike's Last Dance, listen to Soderbergh 2828, okay? I'm not going to tell you that I loved it on this show, because that's a 2023 movie, okay? We're not going to talk about that till the next season of this show. So I'm not going to talk about Megan. I'm not going to talk about Skinamarink. I'm not going to talk about Plane. I'm not going to talk about Ant-Man Quantumania. Fuck that. This is 2022. Anyway, continue, Marcus.
And who ruled who ruled the year that was 2022? I think it was one Mr. Damien Chazelle for Babylon. We played jazz. He played music. He got out the biggest stars to create a scathing portrait of 1920s Hollywood. And
ouch, that burns.
God, it burned, and it burned the images of this film will be burned into my retina for years to come. And we all loved it, and this man is probably going to suffer for making this film. I imagine his career is not going to be what we want it to be, but he's got a lot to fall back on. I mean, the man's had a lot of Oscar nominations. He'll probably be fine. But great movie. We all love it. Maximalist, crazy take. I don't know how the hell he did it. It seems like a miracle that it got pulled together. And but it did, and God bless him for it. Damien, I salute you. You're one of our filmmakers.
Yeah, you're one of our filmmakers indeed. I've been saying that for years.
And my honorable mention I said I wasn't going to do, I'm going to say Andrew Dominic for Blonde. Let's move on.
Oh my God, we'll talk about that next week. Now to get into Discord. We've done it.
Oh, yes. To the Discord.
To the Discord. The final segment of the show. I'm playing it up to
TalkFilmSociety.com/Discord. We reached out to our beautiful members to ask them what they ask them who their favorite directors of the year were.
Yeah.
And we're going to start out here. Not the Who's Tommy Marinara, Thomas Marion, and he is the host of Double Edge Double Bill, along with his co-host Adam, who we'll be hearing from in just a bit. Subscribe to their Patreon, patreon.com/double-edge-double-bill, dedbpod.com. Not the Who's Tommy.
Yeah.
Park Chan-wook, Decision to Leave. Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinhest. He spelled that wrong. Eeaao.
That doesn't count then.
SS. It does not count. The vote doesn't count. SS Rajamouli. RRR. Steven Spielberg, The Fabelmans. Phil Tippett for Mad God. I mentioned that earlier.
This is who you're trying to think of. So my hot take on this list, good list.
Great list.
We have some crossover here. Although we didn't bring up Park Chan-wook or Phil Tippett.
What'd you think of Mad God? Have you seen it?
I have seen it. That's one of those movies I'm glad I saw in a theater. Because if I saw it at home, I wouldn't focus as much. And I had a great experience seeing it on a big screen. And that's as much as I'll say. I like it. It's weird. I like that it gets nominations and things like the Talk Film Society Awards. It got a nomination for Best Animated Film. But I know people out there love it more than I do, and I'm not going to fault them for it. It's good. It's good. I recommend it.
Next, Sam Shot First. Sam Van Haren. Friend of the site. Host of Can You Believe It?
Can we say...
Reeves.
How about this? Can we say everybody who replied in the Discord is a friend of the site?
Oh, they're definitely friends of the Discord.
Okay, so that's two different things. There's friends of the Discord and friends of the site.
Yes.
Okay.
Sam Shot First. He says, Peele, referring to Jordan Peele, who directed Nope. He says Kwan and Scheinert. He got the name correct.
That counts.
Everywhere, everything. Spielberg, Stevie Boy. Matt Reeves, director of Batman.
Oh, Matt Reeves. Yes, that makes more sense.
And Del Toro and Gustafsson for, I assume,
Pinocchio, which you haven't seen yet, have you?
I have not seen Pinocchio.
How about this? I make a promise to watch Turning Red by next episode, and you make a promise to watch Pinocchio by next episode.
I don't have any investment in Turning Red.
Me?
I want to see Pinocchio anyway.
Just see Pinocchio.
We'll see if I can make it happen by next episode. Okay. I'm not promising.
Or just by the Oscars. Oh, and by the way, Marcus, maybe I should save this for the end of the show. But yeah, I'll save it for the end of the show. Let's keep going with this thing.
Friend of the Discord, B6421.
Good friend.
Rajamouli, RRR. Eggers, The Northman. Daniels, Everything Everywhere. Peele, Nope. Corey Ada for Broker. I'm not sure what Broker is.
I saw Broker a few weeks ago.
I hardly know her.
Good joke. Broker from the same director as... Looking it up. Oh, Shoplifters. Okay. Yeah. That director.
I know what that is.
Song Kang-ho stars in Broker. Pretty good movie. It did not make the Oscar race because I think... I forget what was in place instead of this for the country. Anyway, very good movie. Seek it out. Not Oscar nominated, but who cares? It's a good movie regardless.
Yep.
That's Broker, baby.
B6421. They also bring up. They also mention Ty West too. I mean, speaking of the year of horror, Ty West had that great comeback where he put out 2 films in a trilogy, just kind of out of nowhere. Nobody knew they were being made or anything. And look, they're both pretty good.
You could say it was the year of Ty West.
And they were decent theater hits, which is like another surprise. Like that's cool. Yeah. It's cool what he did. Nick S. Chandler, they second Not the Who's Tommy's list. So that's 2 votes for all of those people, except for the one for Everything Everywhere, which does not count.
Doesn't count.
Jay McMillan, Romain Gavras for Athena,
Ooh. Todd
Field for Tar, Damien Chazelle for Babylon, the Daniel Brothers for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Gina Prince Bythewood for The Woman King.
Ooh,
which is on Netflix now.
I was going to say, I resubscribed to Netflix today to watch a movie, which we'll talk about next week, and I saw The Woman King was on there, which I need to see that movie again.
We didn't see it that it was there until pretty late last night. Otherwise, I probably would have watched it by now. But it's cool that I will watch it soon.
Yeah. Maybe the biggest flub the Oscars had this year was not nominating The Woman King for anything. I think
that was a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, big surprise. Good movie. Should be in there at least above All Quiet on the Western Front, if you ask me. Who's next?
Ben Miller, Ollie. They don't give any films. So I don't know who some of these people are. Ollie Hapasalo.
Oh, of course. That's the director of Girl Picture.
Of course. The Daniel Brothers. Martin McDonough. Justin Kurzel.
Oh, of course.
Park Chan-wook.
Justin Kurzel is the director of Nitram.
All right.
Yeah.
Manish Mathur, friend of the site.
No, wait, okay. Yes, I did Google those two names as I heard them, as I read them on the Discord just now. Ben Miller, you got one over on us yet again, because I remember him getting over on us on past episodes, naming things we had not heard of. Ben Miller.
He's been throwing Nitram in there a couple times.
Yeah, this is maybe the fourth time Nitram has come up from Ben Miller. I still have no clue what it is, but I'm eager to find out eventually. So yeah, let's continue.
Friend of the site, Manish Mathur, host of Queer and Now, host of It Pod to Be You, got it right.
God, you got it.
Todd Field for Tar.
Yes.
Eggers, Chazelle, Spielberg, Peele. Our first vote for Todd Field.
No. Jay McMillan voted for Todd Field earlier.
You're correct. Our second vote for Todd Field.
Deservedly. I almost put Todd Field in my top 5, and I chose to go again. I went with Bay and Chazelle over Todd Field, although Todd Field directed the hell of Tar. I think we can all agree, Tar, amazing movie.
He's a fascinating director. Right? He's made like 3 movies over the last like 30 years or something. And he had like a career as a bit player in movies. He's a really interesting guy.
Yeah. We're gonna get another vote for Mr. Field in a second now, aren't we?
Interesting. Jessica Scott, she says, Jordan Peele for Nope, Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans, Todd Field for Tar.
There we go.
The Daniel Brothers for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Goran Stilevsky, You Won't Be Alone. I regret not finishing this movie. I started it, I rented it, and then I started it, and I wasn't in the best headspace, and I let the rental elapse, and I did not finish the movie.
We had this discussion on and off mic about You Won't Be Alone, and I agree with you, Marcus. You should have finished it. Would have been interesting to hear your take on it. I did end up enjoying it, and I'm glad somebody is talking about it and not sleeping through it.
I didn't sleep through it. I turned it off because I was not in a great mood.
All right.
Okay. Noah Thompson, Steven Spielberg, The Fabelmans, Baz Luhrmann, Elvis, Jordan Peele for Nope, S.S. Rajamouli for RRR, Park Chan-wook, Decision to Leave.
Ooh, Decision.
Getting a lot of votes for Park Chan-wook.
Yeah. It's a great movie, Decision to Leave. Marcus, add that to your list.
Atom or Adam, friend of the site, co-host of Double Edge Double Bill, along with Thomas Mariana Rhaenyra. Robert Eggers, The Northman, Luca Guadagnino for Bones and All, Jordan Peele for Nope, George Miller, 3,000 Years of Longing.
Hey, first mention of Mr. Miller.
And Luca Guadagnino.
That's right.
Kojima, Robert Eggers for The Northman, Joseph Kosinski for Top Gun Maverick, and Henry Selick for Wendell and Wild. It feels weird for me to say Joseph Kosinski directed Top Gun Maverick because we all know that 9 people directed Top Gun Maverick. Well, including Tom Cruise himself.
Yeah, that's the scuttlebutt around Kosinski and his nomination at the Directors Guild Awards. But come on, the man made Tron Legacy. The man made Oblivion. And sure, he Maverick may have been ghost directed by McQuarrie and Tom Cruise and Jerry Bruckheimer. But come on, I think Kosinski deserves the praise he's getting. So that's my take.
For sure.
Yeah, that's my take.
Fantastic film.
Yeah.
Brendan says, Guillermo del Toro for Pinocchio, the Daniel Brothers for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Spielberg for The Fabelmans, S.S. Rajamouli for RRR, and Jordan Peele for Nope. And that wraps up our Discord segment. topfilmsociety.com/Discord if you want to get in on the hot conversation. And wrap up one final thread from today. Team USA. They've won.
Oh.
They beat Japan. They beat Team Japan in the She Believes Cup 1-0.
She believes, more like we believe.
In the USA women's soccer team.
USA.
Sponsored by Visa.
All right, Marcus, what a great episode. This was jam-packed with surprises, with serious talk, with playful talk. We opened up about ourselves, revelations and teases for the next episode, all lined up. I mean, next week's episode is going to be explosive. We're going to be at each other's throats for 90 minutes, talking the best films of 2022, the best pictures, you could say.
I can't wait. We're going to really get into it. We're going to really break it down.
We're going to break it down, baby. And then the episode after that...
Break each other down.
I'm going to tear you apart, limb by limb. That's next episode, and then 2 weeks from now, it's the Talk Film Society Awards presentation. I have yet to figure out what to do for that. I mean, maybe it'll just be an hour of us reading the winners. But you can vote for the winners at talkfilmsociety.com/TFS Awards, the 10th Annual Talk Film Society Awards. Vote for them. And that's it. It's better than the Oscars. Marcus, this is it. Final words before we say goodbye, listeners. We'll see you next week.
Wasn't there something you wanted to, do to me before it ended?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. No, this is more off mic, but, okay.
Okay.
No, wait,
all right, let's wrap it up.
No. You know what?
Okay.
It'll be more off mic, but I'll say it now because it's worth saying. Marcus, I want to put some money down on this.
Okay.
I want to bet money on us picking the Oscar winners. All right. I want to get a pool going. I want to make this as illegal as possible. All right.
Listen, if we're gonna do that, I would like to opt to change some picks.
Oh, okay, yeah. So next week we'll talk about that more in depth. Okay. Next week we'll have our final picks, but before the Oscars. So that's another
final
tease.
Picks to click.
Because I have somebody else in my life who also wants to get in on this action. Because I'm saying
perhaps joining the Discord might get you on the action. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? I don't know, but I did mistakenly say I've won other Oscar pools, and this person is like, "We'll see about that, bitch." So I'm interested in how I'm going to do this year in terms of pools and predictions. So we'll find out soon enough. We'll talk about that next week. Our final picks, but that's it. Marcus, a joy as always. Southland Tales podcast coming back soon.
Yeah. Southland Tales. Have a nice apocalypse. We will be coming back soon with an explosive episode.
Explosive. That's one way of putting it.
Well,
watch your pants, folks. It's gonna. All right, Marcus. Thank you, listeners. You're welcome. And as always, hey, I see you at the movies.
Hey.
No, I never say that. All right, bye.